I'm a simple man. I like games and I like games with puzzles in them, but I've never been a true fan of puzzle only games. For the most part, if somebody told me to play something that was a puzzle only game, I would laugh in their face because I'm a traditional, simple, shallow gamer, or at least I was. And I would stick to my couple of genres, RPGs, open world games, shooters, etc. But many years ago, I had the absolute pleasure of playing Portal 2 for the first time ever and fell absolutely in love with the game, so much so that I sat down and beat it in a single session. Now, despite the hundreds of games that I have in my Steam library, including the original Portal, I've never had a chance to play the original Portal. I've seen a friend play it, but I've never played it myself, but I've always understood that it was a classic game, a great game, etc. You know the drill. Well, as of recently, the team at Valve and Nintendo partnered up and gave us the Portal Companion Collection on Nintendo Switch, which includes Portal 1 and Portal 2. And I cannot think of a better way to experience Portal 1 and Portal 2 than on the go on the Nintendo Switch. So today we're going to talk about the game itself, what makes it so great, what makes them both so great, and to some degree the performance that it has on Nintendo Switch, both docked and handheld mode. Let's get into it. The entirety of both Portal games are played in first-person perspective, and you have a portal gun that shoots both orange and blue portals, and you use these portals to traverse across the different levels to have excellent, and I mean excellent, design. The puzzles themselves and the way to solve each one of them, although there is a good little bit of room for creativity, by the time you're done with these levels, you feel like an absolute genius for finally A, figuring it out, and B, executing, because some of the levels require you to execute your portal shots with precise timing. And the puzzle systems don't simply revolve around blue and orange portals, but there's also momentum involved and a couple of other things regarding physics that are involved into how you solve and project yourself and literally shoot yourself across different levels or gaps. You actually have to take into consideration your drop distance, your momentum, your speed, your height, and everything else. And the game does a fantastic job of explaining this to players, incorporated into the early tutorial levels that the game starts off with. In regards to pacing, both games execute this flawlessly because they both start off with relatively short and simple puzzles to solve, so much so that you kind of get addicted to how quickly you can get through them, and by the time you sit down and look at how much time you've played, you realize 30, 40, 50, 60, 120 minutes have gone by, and you've already gone through like 6, 7, 8 levels, and you're like, oh my god, where did the time go? I've done so much, and I feel like an absolute genius for doing so. Eventually, the levels do get more complicated, they get more difficult, and there's a lot more intricacies that are involved into solving each one, but not at any point in time do they feel like they're unfairly difficult, and they feel very, very good to execute. I'm telling you, one of my favorite feelings in the world was getting through Portal 2, getting through the more difficult levels, executing that timing perfectly, and getting to the very end into the elevator. But, ladies and gents, as amazing as the gameplay and the puzzle designs and the level designs are in both games, would you believe me if I told you that the puzzle design, level design, and gameplay is not the best that Portal 1 and 2 have to offer? The best thing to come out of Portal 1 and Portal 2, and what set this aside for me for both games compared to other puzzle games, are the characters.
Ah! Ah! Oh, God. You look good. Looking good, actually.
As part of a previously mentioned required test protocol, we can no longer lie to you. When the testing is over, you will be missed.
The sarcastic humor involved in almost every single line of dialogue is comical. It is a comical, funny as hell puzzle game that keeps the player entertained, not just with the level design and the gameplay mechanics, but also the dialogue that is going on is downright hilarious from beginning to end. Now listen, in regards to performance, I'm no digital foundry. I don't have the means to calculate and show you what the frames per second are on Portal 1 and 2 docked mode versus handheld mode, but here's what I can tell you. I've tried both games extensively in both ways of playing, and they run smoothly each and every way. I see no frame drops, no issues with it in docked, absolutely no issues with it in handheld, and visually speaking, although both games are fairly old, they hold up very well and they've aged very well. I mean, at the same time, you have to take into consideration what you're playing. You're playing a very simple game in regards to its aesthetic design. We're not playing this game because we're looking for, AAA modern day graphics. This is a first-person puzzle game that focuses more on the gameplay mechanics, the physics, and the comical humor at the heart of it all. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have never played Portal 1 and 2 and you have a Nintendo Switch, you are doing yourself a disservice by not playing this game. And if you've already played these two games and you have a Nintendo Switch, this is the perfect, best way to re-experience this game, because not only can you play it at your desk when it's docked into your dock, you can take it with you on the go. And who in the world wouldn't want to take the Nintendo Switch with Portal 1 and 2 on the go on a long commute ride to work or at school or what have you? Check it out. You won't regret it. Thank y'all so much for watching this. Y'all take care. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Peace out.
What are you doing? Stop it. We are pleased that you made it through the final challenge where we pretended we were going to murder you.